Hello and welcome to Ship of a New Story here on Almedalsveckan, the Swedish meeting place for democratic dialogues. And my name is Pålsson, and I am one of the skippers on this program, Ship of a New Story. And we are actually today going to look back on Almedalen, and we also have from Norway Arendalsuka with us, where we will look into this phenomena in Scandinavia and see what is unique and what is worldwide. With me we have from Visby right now på Almedalsveckan Mia Sture, and we have from Arendalsuka in Norway, Tuna, och here in the studio we have Stella Nordahl. Please start with a bit of an introduction. Actually, you're in the hotspot right now, Mia. How is it going in Visby?
Oh, actually, so far so good. It has been 1.5 marvelous days. Everything has been very smooth. Everything has worked out. We have just a digital week, so we don't have anything physical here in Visby. Oh, yes, we have like 5 event organizers are here and making events, but the thing we are promote is just the digital events. And we had 2-3 party leaders on the scene, and we'll have the next one this afternoon or this evening. And in the middle of everything, we have a little bit of a crisis in the Swedish politician world, so to speak. So I'm just waiting for the announcement if there will be a new election or if we have a prime minister here by the end of the week. So we are right now in the middle of the heart of Almedalen, the political parties and their political speeches.
Lovely. And Tuna, you are waiting for your big event that comes a bit after the summer holiday. Please tell us more about you.
We are fortunate to be in week 33, which this year means we start at 16th of August. And for us, that has been a very good a period of time to organize an event like this. So while most festivals and other big events has to cancel or to do limited events, we are actually in that point that we think we can manage to go through a normal or a physical meeting as well as we do have digital meetings this year. But hopefully we will have people in the streets and people crowding in events, different events, and we have at this moment close to 1,000 different organizers coming to plan for their event during August.
That sounds lovely. We're happy for that you will have the opportunity to come back to the new normal, as they say. And Stella Nordahl, you're here, and please tell me about your story.
Yes, about my story. Well, I've been participating in Almedalsveckan for, I think this is the 6th year, with different concepts. We started out with Arena for Innovations and Visions, and we then had a dialogue arena called Radio Intentional Decisions, and now we have this platform called Ship of a New Story. And this year we also set sail for Folkemødet, the Danish version of the democratic festivals. And what I'm eager to do right now is to increase the level of consciousness in the world, and that means, from my point of view, to make us aware that our intentions, they matter, and the perception we have create the reality. So for me, democratic dialogues and festivals like Almedalsveckan, Folkemødet and Arendalsuka is a perfect way to engage in development of society, development of organizations, and as a personal development. So that's my story a little bit.
Yeah, and that takes us into today's subject that we want to discuss here, and that is how can we create democratic spaces connecting social, organizational, and personal development. And I ask you, Mia, since you are, or your organization actually is the one that's been doing these types of event or festival for the longest time. So could you please give us the history from then to now in very short version, please?
In the short summary, 53, maybe almost 54 years of history. Actually, we started off with a couple of speeches in Almedal and the Green Park, where everything took place from the beginning, and where the Almedalen Week has had its name from. So it was like 1968 when the Prime Minister Olof Palme held a speech here, and his invitation was, come, listen, ask, and enjoy. And I think that is 4 words that actually we have taken with us all those years, even though Almedalen Week have been different. It has been speeches only, it has been seminars, a few. It has been like the last year we had a physical meet. It was 3,700 events, and we have like 42,000 unique visitors here during 8 days. And now we are digital, but it's still the come, listen, ask, and enjoy. That is the main, would you say, that is the ground for the whole Almedalen Week. So I think this year will be a very interesting year to follow and see how the talks, the communication, the participations, how that is going to be, because I had a call from Paris yesterday. It was an event organizer. It was a Swedish church based in Paris, and they were organizing Swedes abroad. And she said that I talked to the phone, said that this is marvelous. Now we can be a part of the democracy conversation in Sweden, even though we are not there. So in a way, we have broadened the democracy area now. So from one speech to a digital event. That's my short story. We don't have any sound.
I didn't hear the question. We don't have any sound.
Oh, okay. Do we have the sound now?
Yep, we do.
Oh, perfect. How has your success story been in Arendalsuka?
Well, we actually started about 10 years ago, or we are having our 10th anniversary this year. Of course, inspired by Almedalsveckan, as all the festivals are. We've been to Almedalen quite a few times during some years. Also, other parts of Norway, other cities, counties has tried to find a way to make a copy of Almedalsveckan in Norway, but successfully we managed to do it. And our first festival was supposed to happen in 2011, only 2 weeks after the massacre on Utøya. And of course, we wouldn't go through with it and had to cancel that time. But this year we are celebrating our 10th anniversary, and we are above all dreams in comparison to what we thought this arena would be, both in people participating, organizations, businesses, and all the outreach of this arena is amazing. And it's not just we have been doing a very good job. We think this was a sought after arena, and that helped us in our marketing. And I don't know how many years ago we stopped doing marketing, because this arena is selling itself, and more organizations, NGOs, businesses, political parties, and media are still coming to and wanting to be a part of this arena, and all to the inspiration of Almedalsveckan.
That's quite interesting. And that we have now been through the pandemic. How do you think that we will be working the next year when we be both digital and physical?
Can I start? Well, I have an idea here, and that is, as we now tested, at least in Almedalsveckan, the digital version. As the ship of a new story, we set sail already last year when Almedalsveckan was postponed. So we created something we called Commons Valley, just to have I wouldn't say umbrella, but at least something that different initiatives could engage in. And I think there were, you have to correct me now, Mia, but I think there were 10 initiatives last year that actually managed in some way at least to engage in the democratic dialogues. And as we are in a extreme change in the world right now, the last year has been, I mean, for many people, more change than you could ever imagine. And I believe that we're just in the beginning of something. So even if we've had a big change, it's just the beginning. So even if you want to come back to something, you can call it normal, I would say we are now creating a new normal. So from my point of view, I would say this is a dimension that, one, we can't just throw away. Two, I wouldn't say we would like to do it even, because this is a fantastic dimension to engage in, as you said here before, in the democratic dialogue and the conversations, no matter where you are in the world or who you are, if you're young or old. All of a sudden, it's very easy to set up. I mean, for instance, this little meeting, if we would have arranged it in a spot, a physical spot where all four of us would have been at the same time, we would have had a problem. And right now we are broadcasting from one part. I mean, I believe I'm physical right now at least, and for me, Tuna and me are digital. But from your point of view, you're very physical, and we are the digital version of ourselves. So what we can do here is that we can connect the dots. We can connect Arendalsuka with Almedalsveckan and Folkemötet. We're also doing this on the ship of a new story. We don't just set sail for a direction nowhere. We're setting sail for the future together. So from my point of view, this is a fantastic opportunity we right now. We are right in the middle of it, and the choices we do, that is what will create the future. That's how I see it.
Is it okay to ask a question to you as an event organizer? Because we are here coordinate your events, but how is it to arrange a digital event? What are you doing different now that you hadn't done if we have been together on the same spot?
I can try to maybe not answer, but if I look back in 2017, that was the last time we had a big arena, the big seminar at Almedalen. For us, it was 4 days, 30 events, and so on. We didn't have, at that point, even the idea of having digital guests, but we did want to, at that point, we wanted connected digitally. So what we made was like the Swedish fika culture. You know, the fika is a world-famous feature in Sweden. So we wanted to connect the rest of the world together with the arena we were having on Almedalen. So at that point, the best that we could do in 2016 and 17 was a digital version of it. So from any place in the world, you could engage to the people in the panels with text messages coming up on a screen. That was the solution we created at that point. But right now, we can have guests from all over the world, and that's one thing. Another thing is that we can engage people in workshops also from all over the world. And yesterday I hosted a workshop where people just showed up. And I'm also going to host one of those today. An open space is the format at 3. So after we have ended this panel, I will run away and have that. So I don't know if that's an answer, but it's at least 2 reflections on 2 different worlds. One before Corona and one post, maybe not post, but one affected by the choices that we are now facing.
I've been working as project manager for a few times on Almedalen and this year for Folkemötet, and it's what was an experience that it was the same foundation how you would put a question that is open, but it still was a bit of a difference and a funny challenge to see that you could do it the same way but a bit different. But when we wrote the questions, usually you have one sender and one receiver. It's on the spot happening. What happens in Almedalen stays in Almedalen. In a way, when it comes to the information, you only have it internally. But now when it's digital, we can spread it, and that's maybe why we have this conversation in English, that it's more than the one that's in the room. And also what you can do with the material, for example, in Almedalsveckan Play, it will be available until April next year. So the information that we produced, the dialogue, that could actually go on for quite a longer time. So it's not a excluded part of what you do in a business or an organization. It's actually something that will be included for the whole year. Tuna, please.
Yes, I would just like to add our comments to what we think about the digital solutions or the digital possibilities that we in some way were enforced on us because of the pandemic. And I think we all know that some factors that happened because of the pandemic has been good for us. And as do we in Norway encourage the digital possibilities that gives us a new chance to reach out to other people abroad or in different places in the countries and everything. But I do want to stress the fact that we would like to meet in face-to-face in a physical meeting, because it is important to see each other's face, to see each other's reactions, and to try to find solutions together. And it is easier when you are face-to-face than in a digital arena. And you know what the keyboard can do for your opinions. If you have a strong opinion of anything, you would post it easier than tell it to your face. So I think we would stress the fact that the best thing is the physical meeting, but the digital dimension gives some possibilities and options that are very dear to us. We can get international speakers in a way we couldn't do before. We can easily attract people from other places in the world, but not just to travel and to be with us. So it has some possibilities as well. And you shouldn't also forget the things that happens between the debates, between the seminars. Mm-hmm. It's in the line, in the queue to get into an event, or going out, or having dinner, or a cup of coffee. I think I've been to Almedalsveckan a few times, and it's the same as here in Arendal, where you would sit next to the Prime Minister for coffee or a glass of wine. You would meet people from different departments, from different CEOs of big companies. You will have an impact to talk to people and learn from them in a way you couldn't do in a digital meeting. But again, we embrace also the digital solutions and think they are adding to our festivals. I don't know if you agree with me, Mia.
Actually, I do, and actually I reflected on that earlier today, because I heard the word meeting, the informal meeting. I've heard that word in different events this year. So I think we all want to see each other again and have this meeting. This informal. Actually, we have set a name of it. We call it an ice cream meeting. The short meeting that it takes like 10 minutes, and it's very informal. You can have ice cream or coffee or whatever you want, but it's short and it's informal, and it's very, it makes connection in a way that you can't do in the ordinary ordinary life, maybe it's not the right word for it, but when you go back to the life you live the other 51 weeks in the year.
I have a reflection here. As we set sail last year, this was something we also tried out with the digital era that we are now in, and that was a principle. We call it both and. So not putting the digital and the analog or physical into some kind of opposition. And at the same time, I also would like to stress, at least this is my belief, that and this is more general, not only for digital meetings. I would say in the same pace that we digitalize, we will need to analogize also, so we don't lose that dimension. And as you said, just to be in the same room, to feel the feelings that another person is emitting, or whatever you call it. I mean, and at the same time, I would say it's just different ways of connecting. It's different ways to meet people, and it's different. I would say maybe we shouldn't put them in opposition to each other, and maybe we could also. I mean, for now, I would say that we have had a year of change, which have put us into the digital room as a way of reacting to the pandemic. And we believe now that we're so mature in the digital era, but I would say we're not. And if you just watch what we're doing right now, I mean, this is a little bit, all of those actors that you mentioned, Mia, we are one of them. This is new for everyone, and even if we have had a year, and last year we were producing 60 events during 5 days, and now we're producing 70, I would say, look back in 5 years, and we will probably say, okay, wow, we thought we were so mature in the digital era, but we were just kids, and so experimenting. That's great. I will say that's the biggest thing that I believe that people are open to, and that is to test new things, and it's easier to get people to test new things.
So thank you very much. Now we kind of seen the history and the development from then to now, and now we have this check out what's happening right now, 2021. And Mia Sture, we had you in one of our dialogues before, and something that I took with me, that if can it be in Sweden there have been more initiatives with democratic festivals, and as Tuna said, you have tried it in different places too, and what we came from it can't be too many democratic festivals, so actually there is no competition.
No, you don't put Arendalsuke in opposition to Almedalsveckan or any democratic festival. I would say if we do that, then we have like taken the wrong turn somewhere. So we would like to encourage more of those democratic festivals, democratic spaces, dialogues, and so on. Yeah.
And that's one of the questions to actually all of us in this setup. Is there anything that, from our knowledge and experience, that we can actually put down as points for others to be able to develop and create democratic festivals? Tuna, please.
Yeah, well, I think we cannot have enough democracy festivals. We are both Almedalsveckan and Arendalsuka are part of Democracy Festival Association, and we have festivals knocking on our door every month. So this is great news for democracy festivals. But it's very important at the same time to think about how to organize and who to include and how to run your festival, because it's important that you make sure it's there for the right reasons. It's not a PR company starting out to make money. It's not a municipality or a city that wants to earn money as an event tourism. So you need to make sure that it comes from the right perspective, that people want to do a change, they want to work for democracy. And I do we also see that there's new democracy festivals coming up here and there, but they are just for one sector. Now we see the culture is doing their festival, and they're calling the democracy festival. Within sports, it's the same, and they are popping up here and there. And for us, that's not a problem, because we do not fear the competition. We think that we embrace and wish everyone welcome. But I think one of the most one of the things that makes us a success is that we bring in all sectors together. We have all sectors talking to each other. We have education, we have childcare, we have businesses, we have all kinds of sectors, medias, political parties talking together, meeting in debates and seminars. And when you're just talking to your own people, or to the congregation, as we call it in Norway, when you just talk to the same people that has the same opinion, you might not have the best outcome for spreading democracy, because it will be harder to raise your voice in a place where everybody has the same agenda. So I would absolutely suggest and encourage them all to include other sectors in their festivals, because this is when change happens. Because if one branch are just talking to themselves, you don't make changes for life. You just I'm sure you're doing a great job for yourself, but and for your own branch, but for real changes to happen, you need to talk to other people.
I agree. The right reason to be the event organizer for a democracy festival, I think that is the main reason. Have the heart on the right place, so to speak, and free and open. I think as open as it can be in a democracy festival, not say no or yes depending on how much money the organization the organization can spend. It has to be including, not judging.
That's quite interesting, because in our program we have seen that the global goals and actually the whole world is quite complex. And something when I listen to you is, if we're going to change the world, then the participants also need to be reflecting that kind of complexity and being open. We're on a ship, and the ship metaphor here is that everybody has to be on board, and everybody has their setup and their skills, so that we actually come to where we want to go.
Yeah, and I mean, as the Sustainable Development Goals state now, is that leave no one behind. So that is probably as important as working with the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, to see that we can't leave no one behind, and we have to do it in some way, which I believe a democratic festival is a fantastic way to get people on board and have those cross borders, cross functions, cross nationals, cross whatever, and maybe realize that we don't need those borders, those functions, as we are all humans, and that we can meet in a dialogue where the questions are more important than the answers, even if we are looking for the answers. So that's how I see it.
We're actually in the bit closing up to coming to the end of this subject, but I would like to end with the questions. What has been your best experience from creating your democratic festival, and what would you tell someone that will want to start up a new festival or being a new participant in a democratic festival? What should they do? Mia, do you want to start?
Oh yeah, I can start, but it's a very large question. But I think you need to find your aim. What's the festival for? To start to see if it's for just a subject or for just a target group, or what is the main reason? And then I think you need to include organizations around you, because it's a lot of work. And I think much of the success that I can see, especially this year, is that we have been quite open with all the creative ideas from the organizers, how they should make their events. But the thing we always have as the bottom line, it's going to be open and free, no cost for the people attending the events. So, and I think you are on it also, the time for reflection. Don't make this program, it has to be time for reflection. But it's hard to give just one advice. I have to tell you, when we started this network, Democracy Festivals, the first thing we did was trying to describe our festivals. We are 9 of us, trying to describe it from a manual with titles and so on. And I got stuck on the first. The vision I was clear about. But how are you organized, and where did you get your sponsoring? And I was, no, we are not working with sponsors. We are working with the municipality. Okay, we have fees for renting the ground in the area around Almedalen. But that's the only thing that we are working with, like taking in money. All the other money spent from organizations coming here, but that is nothing that we taking care of or have something to do. So we are so different in the way we are organized. So it's hard to give like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then check you have your festivals.
Can I go next?
Yes.
I would say co-creation, and as I believe it, I haven't been to Undersökas, so I don't know exactly, but I believe that you also invite various organizations, as you told us, Tuna. So I would say this is a success factor, definitely, and maybe also co-creation in the Democratic Festival and the purpose of it. I believe, as you said, Tuna, it's very important to be clear what is the purpose. And I have an idea here. We had a seminar here just before. It was about business development and so on. And they talked about a model called Ikigai. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's about what makes the life worth living. And there are 4 main questions. And the order of the questions is also important here. And 2 of them has to be stated first to be able to get something more than just best in the world. And to get something that is best for the world, you have to start either with your purpose, what do I love, or what does the world need? So that's the 2 questions in Ikigai, which probably would take you a little bit further than yourself. And then comes the second 2 questions, and that is, what am I good at, and how can the world pay me for it? So I would say the business model is then in the end, it's not like starting with how should we finance it. It's more like what is the purpose of it and how does it serve the world. So I believe that could be something that is crucial actually for what you mentioned here, Tuna. And I really appreciated that you took this approach, that it's great that you make a festival, but you have to have a broader perspective and maybe also a broader perception.
And also, if I may add, I do believe you had some great reflections, and your word co-creation is crucial to setting up a festival. You need to have those NGOs, you need to have the political parties, you need to have the media, you need to have someone to start working with you to be able to develop and also a clear voice of what kind of arena and what your vision is. Because we know that both Almedalsveckan and us and Folkemöte has also commercialized agencies and companies that want to be in our arenas because they see it as a fantastic marketplace, because they will find all kinds of other people there to and it's clear, it's important to be clear of your vision and follow where you headed. And if you lose some on your way there, just you will win in the end, because you need, as long as you're true to your vision, you will do fine.
We have done our program. It's actually our heart and our vision that has been writing these questions, and some of the questions have been writing themselves, just as the one that we need more democratic spaces. And I thank you for your participation and wish you, Mia, good luck with the next days that we will see each other here. And Tuna, we don't know, we might come to you in August. We have our plans for it. That would be great. And we will definitely see each other next year. So we end it as we usually do it on the ship with a big ship ahoy!
Ship ahoy!
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.